Okay, so good morning, everybody. It's Vince with Listings to Leads, and we're really excited to be talking about the Facebook Connect tool. You've probably seen a little bit of it, but we also just made some integrations with our listing landing pages, specifically when a property is pending and sold. So let's get in and let's look at that, okay? Let's see here. Log into my account. And when you log in, there's always this page that pops up right in front of us, right? And this is actually talking about exactly right here, what we're talking about right now. There's a pretty good video that Scott did right here, learn how to generate more buyer and seller leads. And that is what it's about, but it actually is speaking specifically about this connection, this tool here. So let's go into the listings and let's get a quick look at that. When a property is coming soon, let's just look at the single property website here. You can see I've got one on Circle Drive there. Let's look at the single property website and see what it is we're talking about. So this is a single property website. You're probably familiar with this. You should be if you're a client of ours. There's a follow this home button up here, but you can set the timer on this to open up at a specific time. I will show you that. Where to control that. But notice that right here it says continue with Facebook, okay? And that little addition is really an explosive addition to listings to leads. We didn't realize that the technology has been there for a little while, and we decided to implement it in our platform. And what I can tell you is consumers across the country are so comfortable clicking that button. And when they click that button, you get their contact information from Facebook. As you know, anybody that has a Facebook account has their email, their name, of course, and their phone number. And when you click connect with Facebook, that emails the lead directly to you. It goes through our platform. It'll come from us, but we're able to grab the contact information from them. So it really saves time for a consumer. And more importantly, it's a very kind of known thing. Consumers are doing it. They're super comfortable doing it. So before we got on the call, I pulled up this little picture here of this guy going bananas, saying like, hey, he's getting so many leads. As he's filling out, you should watch this, it's kind of funny, but as he's filling out and responding to leads, he's getting leads. This guy posted his listing out there with the tool I just showed you and got 127 buyer leads in just a matter of 7 days, right? Now, we don't all need buyers, but he's actually getting listings out of that as well. And there's a lot of activity and a lot of business going on, okay? The other thing that's important is, yeah, when the home is active, well, the connect button is there. When it's coming soon, just listed, the connect button is there. And it's right here. Over here is the listing landing page to the right of the Facebook button. And this page here, again, has, continue with Facebook. So we've got these tools that just are just a lot more comfortable. So if you're using them and you're putting them out on social media, people are just comfortable doing it. So a couple things, if you can see here, I got a lead in my mailboxes since I clicked that button. Something that I want you to be aware of, and you're hearing it over and over in our mastermind group, is people are not just running paid ads anymore. They're putting it in some of the kind of for sale groups. If you're in Facebook, there are a number of kind of like garage sale areas, right? Little groups for your local market saying, we're buying and selling. Maybe people are showing, it's like a classifieds page, and there are many, and they're free. And a lot of agents are taking these tools and putting them in there and getting huge amounts of response. They're also using them on platforms like Nextdoor. If you haven't heard about Nextdoor, it's kind of a new, I'd say, social media kind of website for neighbors, right? For you to sort of communicate and connect with neighbors. And so you'll get a lot of kind of public announcement stuff, when utilities are working and things like that. But agents are starting to place our tools there as well, and they're getting awesome response. So that's great. But the newest addition to listings to leads, which just happened over the past couple days, is that in the just sold, you can see here this acronym is just sold and pending, we have a new look to that, right? So the listing landing page, I'm clicking on the listing landing page right now. It says this, it says 8495 Maple Drive in Granite Bay is pending. And we've changed this language. Recent home sales affect your home value. Get your home's new value now instantly for free. So we're kind of pre-writing it exactly the way it should be. And let's just, so we know when somebody's clicking on pending or just sold, many of those people are thinking of selling their own home. So let's just type in an address, right? And let's see what happens when, I put in the wrong address. Sorry, guys. When we do that. So we click go, and it takes us to the next page. Excuse me. I think I'm getting some allergies here. And the next thing it says is continue with Facebook. Okay. And you click continue with Facebook, and it says great. And here I have kind of required a phone number. I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay. I've required a phone number, and you can't go anywhere and you can't get the value until you give me that phone number, right? A lot of people like this. Not everybody needs it, but just by hitting continue with Facebook, I've got their name and email address. So at this point, the consumer has what they want. Me, I've got everything. I've got their name, phone number, and email. And let's wait. Let's see if I can open that up. I think I've got the wrong one here, but maybe not. Maybe not. It's another lead. Yeah. So this is the lead I've got here. Okay. And it's saying, and this is coming to me, the agent, and it's telling me this person, which in this case was me, with this email address and this phone number is interested in the value of this home. This is a very powerful lead, and we can configure that, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do that right now. All right. So let's see here. I know that address. Oh, hey, Steve. Good to see you on the call. Yeah, that's a very prestigious home here in Lafayette. So that's the pending. And I have a home here that's just sold. So let's look at that. This is the listing landing page over here. And let's look at this. Pull it up a bit. And it's kind of worded just a little bit differently. We're not actually giving the address of the home this time, but we're saying another Granite Bay home or another Lafayette home is just sold. Recent home sales affect your value. And then this page is again designed for seller lead capture. And we've known that, you know, when people are clicking on just sold and pending listings, that they're actually more interested in property valuation. So we've really configured the landing page to be like that, to just speak to that. Over here on the single property website for the same property, well, there's more information right up front, right? Just sold, there's the price. You could remove the price if you don't feel like giving them that right away, especially if it's just sold. But the lead capture form that pops up is definitely about getting the closing price and, of course, getting your home value. So you can use either of those. They both have Facebook Connect, but let's kind of go through and see how that's all configured. Let's see, I got a question here. Well, will I get 1 or 2 lead emails when I require? You should get, you're going to still get the partial, you're going to get, I'm sorry, you're going to get 1 email and it's going to require that phone number. So let's go through that and kind of look at that. How do we do that? Okay. Now, one thing I'm going to point out, you don't have to have a listing to use that tool. Okay. You can borrow a listing. Or you can just sort of create one that's, you know, because it's not really, especially in just sold, it's not really speaking about a particular listing itself. If you're helping a buyer buy a home, well, then that home just sold and you can just sort of create that on there as well. But we just had in the mastermind group just last week, somebody say, I borrowed this listing with, from a listing in the inventory in the office that hadn't moved. It was one of those properties that was just sitting there forever. So this agent asked, can I use that listing and just market and get some buyers? Boom. nearly 100 leads from that, right? So you just pulled it in here and got it going. So there's a couple ways to get a listing in here. One is grab active listing. If the listing is actually active for sale, you can click grab active listing and drop in the zip code and the MLS. If it's for sale, status for sale on Trulia, we'll pull it in with the photos. But let's just do it the old-fashioned way. Create new listing up here. And for most of you who are clients, we do have a connection with List Hub, and that usually gets your listings in automatically. So at this point, just click for listing presentation and put in your address, right? I'm going to put 123 Main Street, and I'm going to say Lafayette, Cal, and 94519. Okay. And you put your information down here, but you don't need a lot to just take advantage of this, right? We're going to save and add photos, and because we don't really give a whole lot of information there, so here I'm going to click, and I'm just going to get this beautiful home that I was looking at a while ago. So let's look here. Notice I'm getting some links automatically because Listings to Leads is designed as soon as you add something to send the links to you automatically, to get the tools to you automatically. So I'm going to click back and go to 123 Main Street in Lafayette. But let's look at that question. Just listed ad requiring Facebook sign, got up 54 leads and ran the same ad with the mandatory phone number and got one. Totally believe that. I definitely believe that. While we are making it, and it is, people do like to require phone numbers, boy, it just kills lead gen. It can just really kill it. But sometimes people are getting it. Where are you? I think that was Dennis. Where are you in the country? That's kind of an important thing too. I'm clicking in listings. Cape Coral, MVP. Oh, okay, Dennis, thanks. Welcome. I don't know if we met. I was in the MVP office a couple months ago. So this is where is that property? Right here. Okay. And so we want to make some edits, right? And if we look at it real quick, let's just look at the single property website and see what we sort of have, right? The address is 123 Main Street. I got one picture up there. I got my key lead generation links there. So that's kind of what's going on, but let's make those edits to make this usable in the just sold format, right? Click edit here and change this to just sold. It's an option here. You can also change it to pending, right? Or under contract. These are all going to give you that kind of seller lead capture form, right? Which is what we're really looking at here. But change that status. And then down here at the bottom, usually if we make this change to 10 seconds, this appears on the single property website. So let me show you what that follow this home display 10 seconds means. This is a single property website. When I open this up, the consumer clicks on this, gets here anywhere. When does this page follow this home come in? Now this is just listed, but that's the page that we're talking about. So we're saying give them 10 seconds to look at this page and then boom, get there. So let's see what I have over here. Now that's my landing page, so this doesn't really affect that. Let's see if I have a better, yeah, so this is the just sold. And here's just sold, get the info. We're talking about a 10-second delay on this, okay? So that's what we're controlling right here by putting 10 seconds. It shows up on the listing, on the single property website, not on the listing landing page, okay? So I just want you to be sure of what that is. Follow this home is enabled, right? That's the Facebook Connect, and we definitely want that. And I'm gonna check here that I'm gonna ask for it, but I'm not gonna make my phone required, right? And as Dennis said, it killed his lead gen. So, you know, I don't recommend that. Let's save these changes and let's go look at the questions as they're coming in. Is that single property website live for a dummy listing? It is live for a dummy listing, correct? Yeah, it's live. Hello, Barb. Good to see you. Are these paid Facebook ads, and how are you getting the notification box to appear with leads equals thanks. Barbara, can you respond? You got two questions. Are these paid Facebook ads? I guess you just got on the call because what I was telling everybody a while ago is that our clients are using these tools not only in paid for ads, but also in free groups on Facebook. So there are sort of like, I don't know what they're called, but you see buy and sell, right? I live in Lafayette. So you'll see like a group like Lafayette Buy and Sell, Walnut Creek Buy and Sell. And they have all these funny names, but they're really kind of like garage sales where I can say, oh, I'm selling this bike. And somebody says, oh, I'm selling this car. Agents are taking our tools and putting them there as well. They're also putting them inside of the kind of a newer platform called Nextdoor, which is, you know, I don't know, kind of a bulletin board style social media slash website based on how do you say, your neighborhoods, right? So you get invited by neighbors and it allows you to communicate. So people are using it there as well. Then of course people are using it out on paid for ads as well. Okay. 5 listings from Nextdoor this year. So Angela, yeah, Angela, I saw you on the mastermind group. That's great. So you got 5 listings from using this on Nextdoor. Nextdoor has strict rules. Great. Not posting like this. Great. Okay, so Barb's gonna follow the rules and not get kicked out, and Angela's gonna get 5 listings. You guys make your decisions there. Barbara Gettier, I didn't understand that second piece. And how are you getting the notification box to appear in the leads? I think that's what we're doing right now. I think we just answered that. Okay, so we made those changes on the edit page, and then when I click on the listing landing page, which now is just sold, it has a totally different look. Another Lafayette home just sold. Recent home sales affect your home's value. Get your home value now. Okay. So let's fill that out. Let's see, just see what that happens here. It's really designed to kind of showcase a home, but also it's basically saying get your home value, right? If another home has sold, we want to make sure and get your home value, right? And because that's going to affect your home value, and it's pre-written. So, you know, in the past, we had some default language there that really wasn't that helpful. Finally, Scott, you know, has, you know, realized let's just write the language, right? And so for now that we've got the home value, I gotta, you know, continue with Facebook. If you notice over here, I'm getting some partial leads. And the partial lead, I'm gonna just speak to that real quick, is just that you get an address. Okay, so at least you know somebody is interested in the value of that home. Man, it looks like I need to mow my lawn. Anyway, that, you know, that's good. And I want to kind of tell you, you know, we do have Cole information, which is an additional service, but a lot of people really like that. And what it does is it allows you to, it allows us to reach into the Cole. It's kind of like an online phone book for homeowners, of homeowners. So if somebody just gives you an address and decides to walk away, we reach into that online phone book and email you the deeper contact information. Many times it's the home number, the cell number, and also the last sale price. Okay, and so that's all. That's what Cole information is. You can pay $30 a month. It snaps into everything and it really automates and it really helps you. Remember, I put to capture the phone, but I didn't require it. So I'm just going to leave that and click report. Okay. And when I click the report, I can do that. I get the number, and me, the agent, I'm also getting another lead, right? And it's going to give me the full contact information that was, you know, held in Facebook. So let's look at that. Hopefully I can get that real quick. Yeah, exactly. Right. So it's kind of, oh, that's not it here. This is it here. Notice this is the contact information. In my lead, this information has the address because I typed in the address, but also has my name and my email because Facebook had that. So because it's just so simple to click that button, let's see if I can show you another one. This button here, no, that's not it. Sorry, guys. the Facebook Connect button, it's basically continue with Facebook is so understandable and so non-risky, I guess, to consumers that, just like Dennis was saying, he got 54 leads. That's awesome. That's actually a really important number because, when I go show you what's going on over here in our mastermind group, well, these people are saying, yeah, this guy's got 127 leads. We've been doing this 8 years. I have not heard those kinds of numbers at all, right? Let's see. Can we choose where the report comes from? No, you can't, Peter. There are, let's go look over here. Let's see. If we go to, let's hold that question, Peter, because I got another one, and this looks kind of like a bigger question. On landing pages, we have some pages that don't have an auto valuation. Hey Vince, I follow the same exact steps as you just sold, but when I do this, I get the default dummy address populating on the landing page. So it doesn't say another city. Also, when I enter an address, I have the property verification page pop up before Facebook Connect. Yeah, Vince, I follow the same exact on just sold, but when I do this, I get the default dummy address populating on the landing page. So it doesn't say another city. Also, when enter the address, I have the property verification page pop up before the Facebook Connect. So let's kind of go through that. What Al is saying. So Peter, we're going to handle that one. 45 leads in 3 days. I do find it to get more unsubscribes with the Facebook. Okay, got it. Okay, that's interesting. So I want to kind of speak to what Steve is saying. Got 45 leads in 3 days. I do find that I get more unsubscribes, and that's because his leads are going directly into a CRM, and then there's a drip campaign going, and after a few messages, he's getting more unsubscribes, and that makes sense to me. What's going on here is the Facebook Connect. It's a comfortable thing for consumers. That's what it is. We've made it really comfortable for them to say, yeah, I'm going to give you my contact information. Because instead of me filling it out, I'm just going to click that button. But then they start getting information. Oh, I really don't want all this information, right? That's what's happening. I understand that. So what Al is saying is I went through the same thing, and it doesn't say that. So I got to click here to look at that. Peter, we are going to go look at the landing pages that do not have instant valuation. So what he's saying is that if that's not changing, try creating a new property. Maybe it's a bit of a legacy thing that when you change something just sold. But notice that at this point, this is how it should work. As soon as you drop the address, you should be prompted to see continue with Facebook. That's kind of it, okay? And I can't go anywhere until I click continue with Facebook. I'll just close this, right? But that's kind of what's going on there. So there was a question about if you don't want to use the Zillow estimate. We totally understand that. And that's why property valuation occurs. When the word plus is in the button, it does mean that Zillow estimate is in the background. When it's not, like property valuation, well, it's more of a get the list, get the address and then get your contact information. But that being said, now that we're in the landing page section and that we're talking about property valuation plus, that Facebook Connect button is not in there yet. I'm thinking that's probably going to be next week or the following week. So what we're really focused on right now is listings, coming soon, just listed, active listings, pending listings, and just sold all have the Facebook Connect. So you should basically be using one or both of these, right? The listing landing page, which we've looked at a few times, or the single property websites. Pending and just sold, these are really specifically designed for getting sellers, right? So that's kind of the story here, guys. I don't want to kind of go circular on this. Yeah, Yeah, exactly. Would you repeat that about plus, property valuation plus? Yeah. Let's go back so that we're just not talking in the air. So the reason I went here to landing pages, and this is a bit of the vernacular, and I'm going to show you this, but we're actually in the midst of an overhaul of this page. But for the time being, when you see the word plus on a button like property valuation plus one, property valuation plus, there's empty nester and there's empty nester plus. Plus means that the Zillow estimate API is connected to this. So when somebody fills it out, they're going to get bang an automatic valuation. The question came up is, what if I don't want that and I want to use RPR or something like that? In that case, just property valuation is going to be what you want to use. That being said, you have to understand that the way you write your ad is going to be slightly different, because one of the values of property valuation plus is that the answer is instant, right? It's automated. I can just say, and you can write that ad, because you know when you're writing ads, anything that's free and fast, people are going to respond to. And that's it's an important thing when writing an ad on anywhere, but including Facebook. So when we're using property valuation plus, they're going to get their answer in 15 seconds, right, or less, kind of story. But when you're going to say use this one without an instant valuation, you can't say that, right? And so you're going to have some other compelling language to say, give me your contact info so I can get you a really awesome deal, right? We are getting that Facebook Connect on Property Valuation Plus and One and all these others, but it just takes us time because we have to code all those. And I think over the next few weeks, everything is going to be there. So sort of watch the mastermind group as we get those out there. There's a nearby home sold properties around your home Facebook reg. I think so. That is totally right. Let me close that. One more thing about the word plus and the word one, okay? Because I didn't go into that. One means that everything is on one page. And to describe that, I'm going to click on property valuation. And this is almost a bit of again, response from our clients. And I'll explain to you what I'm talking about real quick. Let me look at this. Here is the standard 2-page version, okay? 2-page version means first page, get the address. Second page, get the contact information, right? That's what the original landing page looked like. But then there were people that were like, I don't want a bunch of addresses. I want to have the contact information in every lead. Otherwise, I don't even want the lead. And that's where property valuation 1 comes in. So property valuation 1, click on that. It requires the address and the name and the email right up front. You can't go anywhere. At this point, when they give you that information and they say, get your home value now, it's going to say, great, thank you. We're going to get that for you, right? So get your answer in 15 seconds. It's a bit of a misnomer, I think, there. Yeah, because we don't actually have plus. There is no instant valuation there. So that should sort of be rewritten. But property valuation plus 1 means, plus means it's instant. I'm going to click through it real quick. And 1 means all the info is on the first page, one page, okay? And so that's kind of the vernacular. That's actually going to get completely rewritten in the new architecture, and I think that's going to be live in September. Because we think, and I think some of you think, that it's really complicated to know, like, where is everything and where I got it. We're really streamlining the process of managing these property valuation pages. We're making it more intuitive with some of the latest technology. So it'll just be a much nicer interface for you, okay? So, but that being said, nearby homes sold, let's just go through that process. Nearby homes sold, do I have one? Oh, here's one for Haiku. I don't know if you know where Haiku is. It's a little cute town up in the hills of Maui. I need to buy over there. That's where I need to go. Huston. Road, Lafayette. So I want to get my, oh, what happened here? What happened here? Oh, it's doing its thing. Get my home value. Okay, so I don't see it there. I did get a seller lead, and that's showing up in my mailbox. Actually, I'm going to pull that out. One thing I'd like you to be aware of is we are rewriting the subject, and I think, Barb, it might be from some feedback we got from you. It's definitely some feedback that we got from our clients that these leads, you get a lot of messages from us, and we need to be really upfront when you're getting a seller lead that's what it is. So you'll notice that the subject line is straight up telling you what's going on, right? So these are the kind of the home sold near me. This is what I'm getting as an agent, okay? And that's kind of the point of that. But we are actually coming here to look at the to see Facebook Connect, and I thought Facebook Connect was on this page, so we'll check it real quick. Nearby home sold +1 might be on this one. Let's do Haiku again, and so this one I don't quite. What's that? My address. 595 Western Road, Lafayette, Vince. So this is one, meaning it's getting everything. You don't go anywhere until you give all the information. I don't think I have phone required, so I'm just going to click. There, it's working. If you select 1 or 2 page, is there a way for us to only see one? No. No, Lisa. The reason why you get, well, yeah, if you choose 1 page, I'm sorry, that was the wrong answer. If you choose a single page, everything comes in, the consumer cannot move past you, right? I mean, let me show you I don't like to just talk without you seeing what I'm talking about. The difference from a 1 and 2 page, a 2 page, that's 1, sorry. Let's go back. The standard property valuation and property valuation plus are by nature 2 pages. The first page is give me your address. And the second page is, great, give me your contact information. And yes, you can say, I want to use the 1 page, right? So in the 1 page, if you use the 1 page, it asks for the address and the contact information in 1 section. So you're just getting 1 lead, okay? We did that also as a response from our clients because they're like, I don't like getting all these addresses. I want the email. If I'm going to get a lead, it's got to at least have an email or it's not worth it, right? So we created that. But there are many agents who are like, you know what? I will take as many addresses as I can get because I can go into tax records and I can go back here and I can find out who owns that home. And I now know that they're interested in the value of that home. And then we've even gone a step further at listings leads because we put in an integration with Cole Information, right? Which I don't know if you heard that, but that's basically a directory online of homeowners. So if you start getting partial leads, meaning just the address, and they walk away before giving you their contact information, we reach into Cole and deliver it to you automatically. So that's why I always recommend, property valuation plus, not any 1 page ad, even though, we create it because it's a request for you. But you noticed, if you heard, Dennis is on the call with us from MVP Realty in Florida, and he ran an ad and got 50 plus leads in 3 days or something like that. Then ran the same exact ad and required a phone number and got 1 lead. Okay, this is similar to asking for somebody's email address on the first page. People don't like it, and so that's kind of the nature of it. That's why Property Valuation Plus is so powerful, because it gets people more comfortable with that. So that's kind of why I usually tell everybody start there and then kind of test the other ones as you go. Right. Don't try to kiss me on the first date. That's right, Angela. I always get that slap. That didn't give you the recent sales in haiku. Yeah, that's right. Vivian, that's right. Even though I use the haiku page, um, the point of that, let me just show you that. Um, the you can create pages, and you should probably notice. Like I do demos right around the country, so you see I've got haiku in Maui, I got Sioux Falls, I got Wichita, I got Aberdeen, Wilmington, out in Delaware, all over the place, right? You should actually, when you're thinking of this, I don't know where you guys are sitting. I don't know what city you are in the country, but I'm going to guess that 95% of you are creating your business not in one town, right? But in multiple towns. So you should have something like this for each one of those towns, right? And whichever town you click on, I'm going to click on Sioux Falls. This search of nearby homes sold is going to be relevant to the address that you gave me. The only difference for you, the agent, is when you get the lead, it's going to say it came from your Sioux Falls page, or it came from your haiku page, or it came from your Lafayette page. But the functionality works across the United States, and that's why that's what it is. But the differentiator is going to be, what landing page did I capture, right? And you can probably learn a little bit from that if you're running different landing pages in different areas. If you start to notice that, hey, this really works in Concord, but doesn't work well in Alamo, you can learn a little bit about that. I live in Maui for 10 years, but I'm now in Houston. I'm sorry, Vivian. Sorry. People fill out contact info, and boom, they get haiku recent sales. If they put in a haiku address, then they will get haiku recent sales. Yeah, you can reword it the way you want to reword it, right? But that is what that question, Vivian, you can certainly change this language. There's a place to edit all that. So everybody, are there more questions? Yeah, you're welcome. Aloha, Vivian. Are there more questions? Happy to answer any that we've got. I do want, if you don't mind, I am going to take us over to the Facebook page because there's so much happening that I just want to go over the highlights. If you're not in there, literally, I think if you spent 5 minutes a day scanning our mastermind group, you would learn something very valuable almost every day of the week, okay? But since we're on the call together, I'm going to just take you to a couple of highlights that I think you should see, because I'm looking at it. And actually, Steve is on here, right? And I want to talk about that because, you know, I talk to realtors and office owners all over the country. And many times I hear all kinds of, you know, negative stuff like, no, it's fished out. No, this doesn't work in my area. And sometimes things don't work in your area. But one thing I often hear is it works for those kinds of properties, but not my kinds of properties. And my kind of properties typically means like kind of big luxury deals, right? And Steve, where is that thing? Yeah, you just put something on here. Yeah. Is this it? That's not it. Steve had he's just had, you should look up Steve Curtis. He put something in here. Steve, what are the details? You basically put something out in Martinez and you're looking at you're getting responses from $1 million properties. And Steve is saying it's amazing. Yeah. Do you have examples of custom landing pages promotions other than just status? Tom, I don't. But that is exactly why you need to come inside our mastermind group and go to the discussions area, because people are doing a lot of custom things. I mean, that's always the nature of our clients. They take what we do, and they're always doing something different with it, right? Here is actually something that Scott did, and it says sold 35% above Zillow estimate. So I was in an office out here in my local market, and some agents, there was a team of agents, and they wrote ads that looked just like this, very similar to this, where they said, because that's an important thing to say, our home sold, or they said, this home sold for 10% above the Zillow estimate, right? And that was written in the ad that consumers are seeing. And then they said something like, click here to get your free online value now, right? And so what they're really presenting, you know, because everybody is starting to get familiar with Zillow estimates, including consumers. And that's almost like a place where you have to fight against. I've certainly heard that, and that's really the issue. That's a separate issue, but that is a real thing. And the point is that they're actually speaking to it and say, we can get you more money than what Zillow's telling you your home is worth. If you know anything about the new Zillow instant offer thing, that's a really compelling message to make, because that Zillow instant estimate, $2 million homes. Yeah, that's right. So here's Steve saying, $2 million homes, 45 leads in 3 days. And that's really what I wanted to show you. Steve has actually put that inside the mastermind group and showed this the ad. I was looking at it earlier, and I want to thank you for that, Steve. That is actually why I think all of you should be in our mastermind group, because Steve came out and said, I'm killing it. And then he came right back on the same page and said, by the way, this is what it looks like. Here's another example. Somebody asked about custom pages. We've got landing pages for FSBOs. And this agent took the FSBO, got a FSBO, puts it inside, starts talking about FSBO, puts it inside and starts running ads for that, gets a bunch of buyers, gets more listings, and of course what happens? The FSBO hands him over the listing because he doesn't want to deal with that. That's why realtors work with that, right? There's more, and here is, here's an agent saying they're using Nextdoor, they're getting a bunch of leads, got set an appointment, all from these tools. So you really need to look here and see what's going on. There's a ton of value, a lot of things that people are sharing to help you understand the best way to use your time and your money. And here's another one, right? Here's one that's, I got 2 clicks, right? They don't quite understand what that is, but you can at least learn from it. Michael Kowaleski has great results. Here's the guy, 127 leads because of the Facebook Connect stuff. So guys, I can't stress it enough that if you want to know how to really attack Facebook, how to really get buyer and seller leads, certainly using our tools. Boy, our clients are sharing so much valuable information. It's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. And so I really thank everybody for that. Steve, thank you for that. I'm trying to find that as we go. But I don't see it. So everybody, I don't want to keep you any longer. I will click through here and see if I can find Steve's ad. But if there aren't any more questions, thank you very much, everybody. Oh, here we go. Here we go. I found Steve's deal, July 23rd. And just what he said, 35 leads from 2 ads, spent $20 for 2 $1 million properties. And Steve's a professional, so he's got some follow-up, right? And then he's kind enough to say, yeah, here's what my ad looked like. This is the power of our group. Steve is not the only guy doing this. Our clients from across the country are showing us exactly what they're doing out on the internet, and you can leverage that. So thanks, everybody. Let's see. Just let me know the latest tutorial. Yeah. One question about your photo copyright when you use other agents' listings. Okay. Hold on a second. Wait, I thought we were going to do a Facebook ad. What? Oh, you want to do a Facebook ad? All right, geez. We'll do a Facebook ad in just a moment. One question about the photo copyright when we use other agents' listings. Well, when you're using other agents' listings, you need to probably ask permission. If it's in your office, you probably should talk to somebody in the office. If it's outside of the office, you probably need to see what your MLS rules are regarding that. When you're using, so that's really going to speak to those images. If you're doing like something like a property valuation ad, a property valuation plus tool, you can sort of grab something from Google and there's a way to sort of know that. please just let me know the latest tutorial and I'll use it. Yeah, Angela, if you look at my tutorials on Facebook advertising, I always cover this. So inside the mastermind group, you can search where I search Steve over here. You can look for my name. I'll see if I can find it real quick. Got more responses after the open house. That's right. So Steve is using the tools and even got more. Let's see here. So, okay, so let me find, let me search on my name and I'll know. It's actually been a few weeks since I did a Facebook call for everybody. So let's see what I got. That's a class there. Let's see, good morning. Angela, you're in the group. So what I'll do is I won't keep everybody here. Let's see, I think if I put, that's getting started. Yeah, I can't find it, can't find it. I'll try to look for it. I'll tag you, Angela, in the Facebook one that I did. That's kind of a bummer. I can't find it like that. Oh, you know what? No, I'll do it that way. I'll do it that way. Are there any more questions? Okay, let's go. Let's go. If the landing page goes to your IDX page for the property IDX, usually apply to permission requirement. Okay, that's a little bit speaking to Vivian's question. Okay. Yeah, got it. Let's see here. Okay, everybody, last chance. Any more questions on any of the subjects here? So, thanks everybody for joining me today. Don't forget to send me the link. Yeah, I won't. And as soon as I get off, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna find that and I'm gonna tag you in it. That is my latest Facebook how-to. But I am gonna, since we're all here, I'm gonna just tell you, if you go to files inside the mastermind group, thanks Vivian, you're gonna see a bunch of things here, right? There's actually a couple really awesome things. Letter to full lead follow-up and a letter to partial lead follow-up. So one of our clients, again, super awesome client, shares that this is what I'm sending people after I get a lead. But what I'm bringing you here for is Vinny's cheat sheet, right? That's my cheat sheet. And in here is kind of where I point every new client, right? If somebody calls me confused, I point them here. Because this video here covers all the tools. It's Scott going 100 miles an hour, but it talks about a lot of our tools right here, Vimeo. Then how do you use the core marketing tools to get the most and leverage what we're automatically doing? That's here. And then Facebook is, how do you create the landing page? How do you get that custom background picture that meets your market? And even talks about how to get it with the correct right, so you don't run into any issues. And then how to run an ad for property valuation and how to run an ad to get buyers. You need to do that. You need to you need to run ads with listings, open houses, just listed, just sold, in tandem with running property valuation ads. And if you don't know that, you need to watch this video right here. Covers all of that, all right? Regarding the webinar yesterday, what's the cost of MOD after the deposit? Yeah, Peter, I think it's like 1,500 or something like that. I don't know because I'm not with my outdesk. I sent a request for the mastermind group. I don't have access. Sakita, the easier way is because we've kind of locked it down because we don't want people coming in unless they are a client. Go to the contact support page inside your account. Oh gosh, I just closed it. Give me a second. Go to the contact support page inside the account. See if I can get there. And just say, hey, please add me to the mastermind group. Then we'll have your email address and we can invite you right there. Sakita, I also think you have my email address, but you could do that right here. You can send me an email as long as that email address is the same one inside of Facebook. You can send it to me, but for everybody, you can just pop it right here. As long as you're a client, our support team will add you to it. Okay. Okay, I got another question. Just for clarification, I did follow what I thought was the latest Facebook, but I was unable to make the ad. But the interface in Facebook is different. And I saw, yeah, and that's why I wanted the latest. Yeah, okay, I'll look, Angela. Also, another question. What's your question, Angela? I do have something more current than what is on that group there, but that is pretty current actually for what's available. Since we're asking, let's see how many people are on the call. We got a lot of people here. So I'm going to real quickly go into Facebook and give you what you should know about running an ad. And I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this. I'm just going to do it real fast. Let's just say we want to take this page because it's designed to capture a listing and we want to get it on Facebook. How would we do that? You may have seen this, maybe you haven't seen it. This is how you run an ad, okay? Let me have a sip of coffee while we're waiting. Up here on the top is a navigation bar. There's a little arrow pointing down. Click it, go to create ads. This is the latest stuff, so if you haven't seen it or you looked at something out of date, you're looking at it real live, real time right now. I want everybody to understand, Scott and I have been saying something for a while, and things change so fast. They change on Facebook so fast, and they change on our stuff super fast. Some of the stuff we're talking about right now has only been live, you know, not even 48 hours. But when you get here, oh, I got to update a card here now, so you shouldn't see any of this. We have, if you've been listening to us the past few months, we were telling you if you're looking for sellers, use the traffic button. Traffic means you're running an ad, the ad's going to look a certain way, and when people click on it, we're going to drive traffic to your page, right? That's what traffic means, is we're going to drive traffic to your page, to whatever page you want. It could be this page or it could be this page, but that's what it is, okay? And then we were saying, but if you're looking for buyers, you're talking about open houses, you're talking about just listed, coming soon, virtual tours, use lead generation. Lead generation has been available through Facebook, and I want you to listen clearly because you're going to get confused if you're not. This has been available for almost not even 6 months. And when it came out, we were super excited because it was a really helpful, easy way to get leads. But because of the integration that we have with our single property, with Facebook Connect, I would say everything from now on, whether you're looking for buyers or sellers, you do it in traffic, because like Steve is telling you and like Dennis from Florida is telling you, they're getting just ridiculous leads because they're driving people to our tools. So always use traffic. I'm going to just call it value, Laffy for Lafayette. And what is it? Is it August yet? No, it's still July. So you put a date, right? This is how you run an ad. And there is more stuff, but I am going to give you some detail right here, okay? If you don't know this, the power of Facebook really is that they don't have to like your page. They don't have to be friends with you on Facebook. They just have to be using Facebook and be in the area you're targeting. A lot of people don't understand that. And I hope you understand what I'm saying. If you're on Facebook or if you're not Facebook, you know, how many of you, are like, 50 plus and you're like, I hate Facebook, right? I hear that I don't know how many times. And so I'm not on Facebook, right? All you need is a business page on Facebook and 25 people to like your page to have this functionality. You don't have to go posting anything. You don't even have to make your business page look all pretty and loaded with content. No, because what is happening, this function is not driving people there. It's just pushing an ad in front of them and then driving them to a page that you want to push them to. like, I don't know, this page, right? So, you know, that's the point of it. But the point is, there are many people that live in Lafayette, and I am now targeting them. All they got to do is live there. And in this case, they got to be minimum 22 years old. You choose your age, right? And you can do some demographics. I'm not going to get into that. But when you are running a seller ad, I recommend, and you're trying to get sellers, whether it's pending or whether it's just sold, use desktop only. That may change actually because of the new Facebook Connect thing. That's worth some testing. In the past, I would say desktop only, but now that we put the Facebook Connect, especially when doing pending or sold, you might want to test out just doing traffic and making this mobile, because now that our tools are mobile optimized. So you could say all devices, so it'd be desktop, but generally speaking, I tell you to do a desktop when you're looking for sellers, but that might change. Then you set your budget. I recommend if you're running an ad to get sellers, like Property Valuation Plus, you do $30 for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Wherever you want to drive, whatever page you want to drive the traffic to, like this one, copy the URL, paste it in this place where it says website URL, gives you a blue box, click that, and then it kind of does its magic, and it puts a picture, the background picture in the ad, and then it has some language. You do have to think about what language is in the ad. You've noticed that we've changed the content on our landing pages, but when you're writing an ad, do not run an ad with find out your home value now, right? You need to do the bare minimum of, I don't know, whatever the number is, 30 homes sold last month in Lafayette, right? Last month in Lafayette. And notice that whatever I type over here shows up on top of the picture. That you got to finish. The high was here. The high was, 900 grand. And this is going to affect your home value. So click here to get your instant online valuation free in less than 15 seconds. That's like killer content. That's the way to write an ad right there. All right. Make sure I've got it sponsored by Universal, which is my music thing. Make sure you got it on your right business page. And this is important because when you're running these ads, and notice it's sponsored by Listings to Leads. So this is going to be sponsored by you, the realtor, or you, your community page. When you're running ads, thousands of people see it. So when you start doing this consistently, meaning 1 or 2 ads during the week for 20 bucks for 4 days, and then doing $30 spend on the weekends to get listings, the longer you do that, the more leads you're going to start getting. That is typically how it goes. Now with Facebook Connect in here, it's even going to get even better. So let's see if we have questions. I hope you see that 98% of my leads are coming from mobile. Well, there you go. Yeah, Steve. No, hey, I'm not bad mouthing the 50-year-olds. I'm actually there. You can't. We're going to delete this, but I'm already in that demographic. So let's see. Traffic is better 5 times than the volume of lead gen. Yep, that's right. Volume. Traffic is the way to go now. I think so. Is there a key to making sure the pic is big enough, or the method making it size? My screenshots never seem. Yeah, I will show you that. Let's see here. It looks like you got a lot of questions. I am happy to answer them. Put them in here, people. What will the lead get an instant valuation, or something I have to do like 5-minute CMA? So if you're using the ones with plus, they're getting a Zestimate, the Zillow estimate. If you use a landing page without the word plus, they're going to get nothing but a thank you. And then you got to hustle and go do that. So under page, you choose L2L. Yes. Well, under page, I'm choosing my L2L because that's the listings to leads page. You are going to choose your business page for Facebook. Okay, Steve, take it easy. I noticed that when I add the URL, an error comes back and I have to go back and add the image again. Am I doing something wrong? I think so. When I add the URL, I have to go back and add the image again. You might be doing the wrong kind of ad. Make sure you're running traffic. You might not be doing that. and traffic is at the first page. The option is traffic. Make sure you're doing that, then paste in the link, and it should sort of work all correctly. So there was a question about how do I get the right size image, all right? And let me explain to you how you do that. So let's say I'm working in Lafayette, right? And my business is in Lafayette, so I'm gonna do a search on Lafayette in Google, and that's gonna bring me to this page. Under here, click on images so that you can just see images of Lafayette, all right? Now this is the reservoir, and if you've seen me doing this, I always use the reservoir, and I like that. But here's to answer to the question. I'll speak a little bit to that. Size, larger than 4 MP. If you choose these almost always work, okay? Now you gotta kind of be cautious here. There was a question earlier about copyright. So let's speak to that. There's a little drop down here that says usage rights. You can notice that this says labeled for reuse. And that would give you things that are just labeled for reuse. You don't have to do anything, right? And you might recognize this because I use that because it was labeled for reuse. This one here says reuse with modification, all right? So let's look at that and see what options we get there. Yeah, so basically that doesn't look like that's not Lafayette, but this is actually a view from Lafayette. So you would click on the image like this, click view image to the right, and then once it shows you the right image, just right click, save the image, and then upload the image to the back of your page, okay? When it says labeled for modification with reuse, that means maybe you just change the size of it, or you do something to just modify it a little bit, and then you can use it. I'm going to back up a little bit to give you some sense of some thought about that, because when you do labeled for reuse, it really shrinks the ability for you to get great photos. It just does, right? Like I like this one, Hein Electric. It is too small. Notice it's 340 by 255. This could work. Lovelafayette.org. But these probably have some sort of, what do you call it? Copyright on them. So you want to be careful. But I was going to show you this one here, which I like. It says Steve Kwan Strong Group. This to me sort of just sounds like real estate, right? Visit the page, and we'll see where this picture is coming from. This might be somebody that would be like, hey, we paid for that, and we don't appreciate you using that, right? This guy looks like a real estate guy. Yeah, totally. So, you got to think along those terms. So everybody, any more questions? If not, I do want to thank everybody for their questions, because that really just helps everybody else out. There's so many things that we don't, that I don't discuss. Let's see. So the URL would always be property valuation page. If you've already hit buy now, but it's caught before any impressions, I would cancel. Yeah, don't run an ad with impressions. Just don't run. There are two things, and this is personal from me to you guys. Do not run ads for impressions, okay? Impressions mean people look at it. They just get to see something. There's no clicking, and if they can't click, they can't get to our pages, and if you can't get to our pages, we can't get leads for you. So it's really difficult to edit. Just delete your ad and restart. Also, don't run an ad for people to like your page. Facebook would love to sell that to you, but I can tell you there's not a whole lot of value for people liking your business page, except you need 25 people minimum in order to get the functionality to run an ad. That's it, okay? I don't see any more questions. So everybody, thanks again for being here. Oh, wait, I got another question. Oh, you're welcome, Angela. Thanks everybody for being here. Get involved in our master group, and please get consistent. If you could do anything, here's the strategy. Run one ad during the week for $20 for 4 days. Borrow the listing if you have to. It should be coming soon, just listed, open house, maybe pending or contract. This builds your brand. This is how thousands of people see you for $20. If you've got budget, if you're somebody with 10 listings, run a couple of ads every week. On the weekends, spend $30 for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday Property Valuation Plus. Get that landing page out there. If you do that consistently, your lead generation is going to grow and grow and snowball on you, right? That is really it. That's the short and sweet of Facebook, our strategy. It works. It works across the country. So everybody, thanks a lot. Stick with us. We'll always